Hi, we're with Rosemary Werner, and we're here today to talk about her new programs and what she's been doing during her retirement. And we're at her home right now, and it's really kind of cold outside, so this is nice to be sitting by a fireside and having an interview. So I'm going to pass this to Rosemary, and we'll catch up to what she's doing and what she wants to do in the future.
Hi, Larry. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
And welcome, everybody. And this is our town.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, and it's been a year and since I retired, and it's been interesting. We've traveled and enjoyed time away, and knowing our neighbor's table was in very good hands.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been very important. And then finding out what I would like to do. And so now I wanted to let you know that we're starting a program called Best Foot Forward. It's something that I had always wanted to do, but never had the time nor the space.
Mm-hmm.
And what it involves is we are going to set up an organization that if you're looking for a job, you would come down to us and we would sit with you and go over your resume on the computer and help you find your strengths and your weaknesses. Yep. And then if you needed additional help with your wardrobe, you would come and see me, and we would outfit you in an appropriate wardrobe that would fit the interview you were going for. Mm-hmm. If you needed any additional help, like having your hair done, a haircut and style, we would give you a voucher to have that done. And if you also needed a bus pass to get to an interview, we can provide you with that. So it's a complete, we offer a lot of services. Now, having said that, not everybody may need all the services right. Yeah. We provide, but it's great that we can provide all of it if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I read an article, a very nice article, that it can be the first time job seekers.
Yes.
It could be high school, it could be
yes.
any level, whatever you're trying to reach.
Right. And we did go to the high school and we spoke to the to the principal, and we also have another contact that we've made there, and that is going to help us by, getting the kids that do summer jobs mm-hmm. that would like to extra help. And we're excited about that because one of the things I felt was that if you can get kids when they start out mm-hmm. and show them that if you do your resume and do it properly and fill in everything, you've got a much better chance of an interview and getting the job. So we want to make sure that everybody has that, that all the help yep. that they need.
I think going back just to resume, it shows that the potential employer that you're serious about what you want to do mm-hmm. and that you can follow directions and
that's right.
you can communicate.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing.
And one of the things that I'm really excited about is that Dennis Doherty, who's partnering this with me, Dennis was the human resources director at GE, and that was his strength. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that I really liked was that he brings to the table the fact that you probably have 20 seconds when you hand a resume to somebody to make an impression. And so that if it's filled out, if everything is done correctly, then you have a much better chance of being there longer. And I think that that's one of the things that makes this kind of a good marriage with Dennis and with other people that we have on our board. We also have a vice president from the Newburyport 5 and from the Provident Bank who are helping us, and that's what they do. That's their strengths. So we're excited, and we have a doctor, Dr. Maris Totola, who stepped forward and offered to be and help us with that. And so I'm really excited because we have a lot of people that, that's something that they did.
That was their career.
That was their career. Yep. And so this is their strengths, and I'm excited about that. And, of course, you can't forget the Methodist Church. who stepped forward and gave us the space to be able to do this.
It's Dr. Bob Robert
Ebersol,
Ebersol,
yes.
yeah.
And they were so wonderful to step forward and say, use our space. And so that's been huge to us because we couldn't do this if we didn't have a place to do it.
Well, Rosie won't say this, but she's very good at communicating to the whole
Begging,
community.
begging.
Well, but you get people to react and do the right thing. I was reading the article also, staffing.
Yes.
You've had a lot of volunteers for staffing.
We had a huge, in fact, Jack and I were down there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and we got, for instance, some desks, some file cabinets, and Jack is going to do, some painting and stuff. And of course, you can't ever think that you can do anything alone. It always takes an effort of a group of people, and I've been very fortunate.
What was the key word? Village?
It takes a village. It takes a village.
Always tell me, it takes a village.
It does. And that's one of the things that I've always been enormously grateful for the people of Amesbury, because they've always been so generous in stepping forward and giving of their time and their talent,
but
and
your
also
plans
their
have
finances.
always been precise, though. You knew the direction you wanted to go. You knew about how to get there. So you're not trying to get someone to do things that are saying, well, what are we really doing now? You always had a plan that was like step by step by step.
Well, it was something I saw that was needed when I did our neighbor's table. I came across a lot of people that needed help with resumes and also with clothing for an interview. But we never had the means or the time or the space to be able to help them. We were very fortunate that we helped a lot of people with clothing and different things, bus passes. But that was like, we kind of were, running around trying to get them to help them. Now we have the means to be able to have space to do this program and do it well. And so I'm grateful for that, because I do think it's desperately needed. There's an enormous amount of people that go unprepared, and then they can't understand why, they may not have gotten a call back on an interview, and it can be for quite a few reasons.
You have to almost practice interviewing. I know when I was out of work, you have to be prepared to be not rejected, but you might not fit. It's not a rejection, really. You just don't fit what they're looking for. But if you don't have enough practice interviewing, like taking tests in college, if you don't get that practice, you flunk a test, you think it's the end of the world. But if you get that practice and someone's going to walk you through, like you said, they're going to have you write a resume, maybe check your appearance, learn your strengths and weaknesses, so you know when you go in to an interview that you're actually interviewing the employer too, in a way of, does my skills fit what you need?
And part of that is that we're very willing to do a pre-interview with you, which I think is an enormous help. And we're also there to do a post-interview, which I think is important also, so that you can see where you maybe answer things right and maybe where things might have been answered a little better. And I think that's a good thing. I think that the other part of it that I like is that not only helping kids to start off on the right foot, but I think if you do get kids that will realize that, the part-time jobs that they're looking for, if they go about it the proper way, they can carry that on to when they get into college or go for jobs later on in life. And so I think it's a great thing to a great life lesson to carry on. We also have people that are available that will sit with you and go over life skills and things that maybe you're not quite, you may need other help in other areas.
We all can learn where weaknesses are and our strengths.
And this is something that we can show people that, we have other people that on tap that would be more than happy to sit with you if you felt that you needed help with, even with finances, as far as, paychecks and everything like that. And for people that have been out of the workforce for a long time, that may be something that is an issue.
Oh, yes.
And one of the things that I always found interesting that, we can help people maybe from, like I spoke with Deb Smith at Pettingill House, And Deb was very excited about the program and wants to do a lot of referrals, which we are greatly appreciate. The other thing was community action and our neighbor's table. So we want, and in fact, the Jeannie Geiger.
You're all like within almost one block or a city block.
Yeah,
Anyways.
and anybody that really does need the help, we want to be able to be there for them so that we can.
Can I go back just a little bit? Because I think in the article it mentioned you were getting computer supplies from Kathy, was it?
Well,
Some people
the
donated
Kathy, yeah, when I went down to Kathy Toomey at Stone Ridge to let her know, she called me back the next day and said, I have a check for you. And I was
Wow.
like, I couldn't believe it. But Stone Ridge have been enormously,
Good job.
kind to this company, to this community. They've been so generous. They have been. They're not just a business that comes into town. They're invested in this community, and I think that makes such a difference, and we're very grateful. And the other people that stepped forward was the Newburyport 5 Cent Savings Bank, the charitable organization. So I was so grateful
And they've been
because
companions with you for a long time.
yes,
Also. Yeah.
and I knew them from our neighbor's table. We've had a good relationship. So they enabled us to buy the computers and a phone and a printer and all the things we need. So that's been great because we couldn't do this without that kind of generosity.
Can we go a little bit in the future with this? What will be? How do you see it as far as the clothing getting to the organization to help out?
Well, a lot of,
Donations
I've been to a lot of consignment shops and spoke with the proprietors, and they're very willing to donate clothing that I deem is, appropriate for it. Don't forget, we're doing men's and women's clothing.
And
now,
you got the seasons also.
we have to do seasonal too, which is, and that's interesting, but it also can be kind of problematic in the fact that we don't have a lot of room. So we have to keep an appropriate amount of clothing in different sizes, but we also have to be aware that we don't have like 15 sizes of outfits in every size. We just don't have
Don't have a lot of
that
closet space.
Yes, but one of the things that is a great help to us is that Leeward Lights in Salisbury has stepped forward, and they have given us racks for the clothing,
Okay. Yeah.
but also have told me that if somebody came in and I didn't have the appropriate clothing for them, I could zip down there and pick
Wow.
it up. So that's really a big blessing that we can do that.
It's excellent.
Yeah, they've been wonderful. They were, since the day they came into the community, they have been so generous to Pettingill House and to the Boys and Girls Clubs, I believe, and also to our neighbor's table. So they've just embraced the community.
Well, talking to you, it's like a round two in the sense that all your old friends and companions and people that work together are back in for another episode in another direction a little bit, but you're still
a different direction.
But it goes for the actual individual, the needs, like it was food and spiritual needs before, right?
Yeah.
With our neighbor's table, and now you're trying to, now that you have that level pretty well balanced, I guess you could say, with the food and the spirit.
Yeah.
Now you want to help someone have a better life through a job and to be able to provide for themselves
Well,
and their family.
Part of the thing that I think needs to be, and this was something Thatcher was very excited about, is the fact that anytime you have people in a community, Larry, that are working, the stronger the community is. So it only makes sense that you are excited about, helping people to achieve that, and that we all benefit. We all benefit, not just Amesbury, but it's a ripple effect.
Yep.
The community, the economy, the stores, everything does benefit. So that's part of the fact that, you want to see that be achieved. And I think that there's been pieces missing from the puzzle of getting it together, and now that we have this, there's no reason for somebody to try and double around with to do something and not have a good sense about getting this filled out properly, or maybe somebody has that part down, but they need like a suit or they need an outfit that will make them feel good. And you know yourself, if you look good going into an interview, that's a little bit of confidence.
Which I never do, but...
but it is a little bit of confidence
No,
that
right, yeah.
is good for you, and I
it's
think
how you feel.
It does. It helps you, do that little bit better. And I think that that's very important.
And I think it shows the next generation also, not just high school kids, but if the parents are working and setting a good, I don't want to say role model because we have a different economy now. Some people are taking off that. But if the young children can see the parents working hard and trying to be part of the community, that also helps out for the next generation.
Right.
So it sets their goals.
And I do think, too, that, the stronger we are and the stronger the community is, and the fact that we know that if you need that help, it's there. It's right in the community and it's free. That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
We've always talked about this, though, being able to have a community where you kind of know each other's strengths. Way back to, remember, our neighbor's table, and we're saying that you can work together.
Yes.
And you know when someone's, able to volunteer or whatever, if they have to pull back and help their mother and father or whatever they can't, then the community shifts over and help that person. So if you can work that way,
this is such a giving community.
Yes.
It's always amazed me that, one of the things that, I felt so touched was that, for instance, Fat Cat's restaurant, they had, when we had at our neighbor's table, when we did the chefs would come, and we had them volunteer chefs that would come and make a meal, and then, Paul came down and was one of the chefs that came that night, and he was just so happy to be there, and I thought, my God, isn't it wonderful when you look around and you see people like Antoinette and all of the chefs that would donate their time and their talent to come down and help do something.
And with enthusiasm, too.
And so giving. And then the other part of that is that he was one of the first to stop me and say, Rosie, I'll be more than happy to make hors d'oeuvres for your opening when you have your grand opening. I mean, it's such a...
That's going to be the end of February?
That's going to be March 3rd is the opening. Okay. Yeah, it's a Thursday night, and it's from 5 to 8 o'clock. So I hope that everybody will come down.
And the church is right across from the library.
It's 140 Main Street, the address is. Yeah, and it's March 3rd, and we're hoping people will come down and take a look at what we've done and, wish us well, and come and have something to eat and drink and... and be part of it, yeah.
Before we go to another topic, though, did you want to give your phone number or some other place to reach you before you get one?
Yes. If anyone has any questions about the program or donations of clothing or anything, they can call me at 978-388-4863. That's my home phone. We don't have a phone number yet for the office, so as soon as we do, our brochures will be printed and we will be able to give that out. So, but they can always call me and if they have any questions or anything about the program, we'd love to hear from them.
Now, I think also the article, before we go the other way, was 3 days that will be operating?
Well, it's going to be open Mondays and Wednesday afternoons. Monday from 2 to 4, Wednesday from 2 to 6. And then we will open by appointment, which is important. Because if somebody has a problem getting there on the Mondays we're open or Wednesdays, we will make sure that we will take you in the evening or on a Saturday. So in other words, we want to be available when it's convenient for you.
Yep.
And we want to fit that in, and that's important. And we have the volunteers are set up for that, so that really is really good.
We can't give her too much of a rest. 1 year off, and she's on another project that we're going to talk about in a second here. But she didn't really. She rested, but
I
it's
did.
Like
I did rest.
Energized bunny type of thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now the other big thing is 9/11 for this year coming up.
Yes, it's called An Evening of Heroes, and it's on September 11th at Landry Stadium, and that's a Sunday night. and we will be selling American flags. They're 3 feet by 5 feet by 8 foot pole, and
You'll be selling those before then.
Yes, they will be sold all year. And then they will be flying in the field at Landry Stadium. And then the evening of the 11th, the program is going to be in actually like 3 parts. The first part of the program will be, we have all kinds of honor guards coming in from all around the state and from the police and fire departments, and it's going to be amazing. We have over 100 choral group that will sing, and we have an orchestra from the Merrimack Valley. We have the Amesbury High School Band, and we have a flyover. We have all kinds of
Will
things.
Will that be jets or airplane? Have you decided?
No, it's either going to be
flyover.
Helicopters or jets. I'm not sure on that, but anyway. And then we will have all the flags flying on the field. And the flags can be purchased throughout the year. They're $25. That's the flag and the pole.
Throughout town?
Throughout town.
Okay.
They'll be at the banks and Fuller's and the Chamber of Commerce. And then we will sell them at different times during the year, like 4th of July, down Amesbury Days, over at the farm. So we will sell them at different functions in town. And then when you purchase the flag, it will be signed in honor of who you want to. In fact, like Jack and I are buying the flag in honor of his uncle who died, Jack Werner, and it'll say on it to honor Jack Werner, and then it'll be by John and Jack and Rosemary Werner. That's how the flags will be set up, and they will be numbered. So, and then at the end of the evening, you can come and pick up your flag. So it'll be a fabulous evening. We're going to have all kinds of patriotic singing, and it'll be very moving.
And you said the governor made this committee?
We've invited the governor and Congressman Tierney and Senator Bedore and Mike Costello. We're also inviting all the mayors of the different towns around us and town managers. And we're encouraging everybody to come, and we have the kids will walk in with a big American flag, and we have the Boy Scouts that will come in with a flag from every state in the Union. So it'll be very moving. And then we will have a group of priests and ministers and rabbi that will bless all the flags on the field, because our feeling was that, it was people of all denominations that, died. So we wanted that to be everyone covered. And I think it will be a very moving evening, and I think it will be a great evening for Amesbury.
Well, I think you've planned the last, I don't know how many, since 10 of them?
Yeah, the first one we did was at the stadium, and then after that we did, like a smaller thing at the in front of the library at the gazebo. But because it's the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and because we wanted to encompass not just 9/11, but we wanted to have like an evening to honor all the heroes in our lives, we thought we would do that, and we came up with the name of it called an Evening of Heroes. So I think that will be very moving, and we've been working very hard on getting a lot of the, we have a lot to do yet, because we have to work on the parking, which will be a nightmare probably, but we're getting things.
Yeah, I don't even want to think of that. I'm trying to think of ways I could park.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
So a lot of, just the logistics of it, but Mark Gagnon is really up to, he's really up to snuff on that, so we'll be.
And has always commented saying that if you ask anybody to do something, they better do it.
Yeah.
He said, you don't say no to Rosemary, right?
But that will be a challenge. That will be a challenge.
Kind of went right around that one, right?
Yeah, but that will be a challenge. But he's very, he's great to work with, and Johnny Brickett, and we have a great team. We have Peg Doyle, who's the director of music at Holy Family Parish, and she's taken on the task of all the choral groups. So she's going to do the practices with them,
Wow.
and we're going to, that'll be wonderful to. And I think what's so great is that we're inviting all the choirs or people that love to sing from every church around the area. So we want them to be one voice that night.
Can people still contact you, or are you pretty well booked with your schedule?
No, they can. If anybody is within earshot of this and would like
to
participate, they can call me at my home, and we can let them know when the rehearsals will be. And it will also be in the newspaper when the rehearsals are. So
you probably
that's
have it
exciting.
pretty well nailed down, I imagine, by August anyway, so you have the all
we'll have it. I think people will have to respond before that,
Yep.
so that we get in. Because one of the things is that the numbers on the field alone for the participants, we're looking at around 500. So we need to know numbers, and Peg needs to know how many people will be joining the choir, because for music and for arrangements and everything.
You'll get nervous setting these things up. I mean, they're so huge. They're not the normal little task.
But you know what? Michael Corcoran is helping.
No,
he's
you personally.
The field. Because it's not one person though. It's a lot of people giving their talent. Peg brings her music to it, and Mike brings all his thoughts about how it should flow that evening, and Gino he's the liaison with the police and the fire and the military, so everybody brings a piece.
But while I have you on camera, is that you just do so well of looking larger than most people would do. But my point is, do you ever get anxiety hoping it's going to work?
Well, I think that,
just so people get a chance to know you better.
I think it will. I think it will be wonderful. And we've had meetings with the Boy Scouts and the Brownie troops and all the, and the big things coming up will be the meetings with the police and
I still
getting
want you
that.
From your heart. I know I've worked with you a lot now, right? You do so well putting things together, but inside, you must have a little bit of a nervousness as it's getting closer to the end.
Well, maybe when it's getting closer.
Yeah.
And the thing to worry about, too, is the weather, which I refuse to believe will be a problem. I refuse to believe it will.
You do so well. And I'm not just saying that because we are on camera. We've known each other for a lot of years now. But the way you approach things and the way you charge people up, and you always look at the positive, which is good. But inside, I'm just saying that when you think of something, you just do it so well of getting, looking up for human needs, but remembering, like you said, on the heroes, right? And coordinating this huge event that Amesbury hasn't seen probably never.
Well, I think it's great that we have the venue for that. And I think, to be honest with you, Larry, the stadium is underused as far as, I think that it could be, I think it's a gem, and I think that it's something that it would be wonderful to use for something like this.
Those people were heroes, ones that built it back with the 30s.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the heroes are the people that have kept it in good shape and stepped forward and done a lot of work. We're working right now on 9/11 with Les Anderson, who is, my liaison with the stadium, and he's fabulous. And he's just like, tell us how we can help. Now, that's great that you've got that kind of a commitment.
But it starts with someone, it happens to be you, but I'm just saying someone that has this little light that goes off and says, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
And I feel very confident and positive, and we have the people and we have the place, and it all fits in that. So I'm giving you a nice compliment saying you should,
well, it's never one
like
person, but it is a lot. It's a great committee, and that makes the difference. We had a meeting here last night from 7 to 9:30 almost, and here we were just going over details and trying to nail them down, and we were laughing because we said, we've made out a schedule. Peter Hoyt is going to be the master of ceremonies. We were laughing because we've made out a program, and this program has changed, and it's changed, and it's changed. So we changed it. Well, it's not really changing it, but it's refining it. Yeah. But
most projects
we were laughing because somebody said we have a problem, and we said no, it's not a problem, it's an opportunity. it's an opportunity to do something with this,
I
you
just think it's
know.
wonderful. I think it's wonderful that you think
It'll
in
be a
that
great
direction.
evening. I think it'll be a very
We do have to-
patriotic
We have to
evening.
start wrapping up. Before we wrap up, the gentleman up here, did you
Yes.
have any good
The Lord
news?
Mayor,
Yes.
yes, he when we spoke to him, he wanted to send his regards and very best regards to Amesbury, and he had a fabulous visit when he was here. He was so taken with the um,
Well, the fire-
with the feel of this small town, but yet with the commitment from the police and the fire department that they do with the people, and how they step forward and help. He was so, and the banks, he was not, he went home bursting with ideas.
Well, people loved him too.
And
Michelle was one
one
the
of the
best
things
yeah.
he's doing is he's running for minister in the south of Ireland. There's, ministers from the different
Like a district,
Ulster,
yep.
Munster, Leinster, and Connacht. So he has a wonderful chance of getting in.
I don't know
and,
what you just said there.
he does, and I'm really excited because the voting is in March, and so we'll know then. But I sent him a card and said, best of luck, and I
Come back and visit
also
us again.
I told him that, and he said he wants to. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if he came back as minister? That would be fabulous. And if he does come out this way, he absolutely wants to stop
yeah.
by. But it would be great to see him. He did a great job as mayor. I have to say, I was, and that's just not me saying that. He got write-ups, and the people were just.
He had a special day that for unions or come see the government or something too, didn't he?
Yeah,
Hadn't been done before?
he did a lot of things that had never been done before. He believed in opening up the doors and opening up the windows and letting in the air and letting people. This is your town.
Yeah.
He believed, and he
Amesbury's
also
our town. That's
Amesbury is our town, and he believed that though very strongly. And it is a much larger. I mean, it's 58,000, I believe, in Waterford now. But he was a mayor for 20 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Wow.
He just did a fabulous job. But he could not get over the impact of. He was fascinated with the police and the fire department, and the banks. And of course, I had told him how marvelous they were to
we
us.
have a great community. I've been saying
And
that
he
for 3
kept
years.
saying,
and
I
keep on
can't
saying
believe it. Yeah, he just kept saying, this is incredible, this is incredible. And he went home hoping that, he could, they're not as open, the police and fire department are not as open and part of the community as they are. And he felt that was such a shame that they're not. He really loved the idea that they were not just there to give tickets. The police were not just there.
Interactive, yeah.
They were very much part of the community.
We are going to have to wrap up, so I'll let you close if you want. Is there any other questions you want?
No, there isn't. I just want to say that, we
wanna
are.
thank you.
You're so
For your
welcome. And thank you. And also that, keep, we'll see you for the 9/11, absolutely. The Evening of Heroes, I should
Yes.
rephrase that, to Evening of Heroes, because that's what it will be.
Well, I want to thank you, Rosemary, your husband Jack, for letting us come into your home, and it just blows me away every time I listen to you talk about how much energy you have for the human race in general. I mean, in a world where there's definitely challenges, you're just a bright star, anyways. But thank you so much for what you
You're
do for
so
the community
welcome.
and to yourself.
It's so good to see you.
Just like Michelangelo into the blue on heavenly wings. Cargo ham bones don't take off, no smoke, no mirror, no strings. I can't take off these dark shades. I can only say how it's too beautiful. Our town on TV. Our town, there's you and me. Upside down, hanging out of an airplane.